AI dream or nightmare. Hollywood exec wants to convert old films into anime. And right, I believe what they're speaking of is they're wanting to use AI to like auto convert old films into anime.
Oh, no. Just
Yes.
no.
Uh, no good can come from this. I mean, let's say they fuck up and actually make a good one. It would be rare. It would be so few and far between. I honestly think no good can come of this trend.
This is
What can
going to
go
be
wrong?
so.
What can go right? I mean, we have a great classic. Why are you gonna go do this? Why? Why not just watch the classic?
Mm-hmm. I
Okay,
wish
the
they would not
reality
do
of it
this
is
way.
they're taking intellectual properties, IPs, and trying to reinvigorate them for the modern audience to once again make money off of them. That's all it is. Some people might look at this and go, "Oh, great! That's so good." That's what they're banking on. But if you appreciate the classic, then appreciate the classic.
Yeah. I wonder what movies they're going to do this way.
I think right now it's more of a concept idea, but it wouldn't be unless it's possible. And yes, it's possible. Burns' company, Lionsgate, struck a deal with AI company Runway last year. He claims that technology can transform any movie from the studio's catalog, such as John Wick, Twilight, or The Hunger Games, by changing its style, rating, or format using Runway software with a new movie ready in just hours. Well, I wouldn't say a new movie in hours. I would say one that looks like a cartoon, but it's the same damn movie. And it probably takes out a lot of subtleties that made the original great. Now we can say, do it in anime, make it PG-13. 3 hours later, I'll have the movie. I can do that now and I can just resell it. There you go. There you go. Resell it for the modern audience. If this is so simple and effective, how soon before we can see the results? Converting even a small portion of the Lionsgate 20,000 plus movie library into anime would likely be a major moneymaker. If it really works as described, the temptation to do so will be immense. Yes,
This stinks.
okay, people are more into anime than they've ever been. So they're thinking, why not just take everything from the past and make it anime? A lot of people will love this. I don't. I don't like it. I don't like the idea.
This this stinks. This is total bullshit.
So Frag Monkey says, I can't see adults going for it, so children. Unfortunately, I could see some adults going for this. They're like, I never liked this until I seen it in anime form. Now I love it. I could see that happening.
Yeah,
I
unfortunately,
never
yeah.
I never seen so many people going for anime so heavy. I mean, when I was young, I liked the occasional anime, but it's not like I wanted to see it all the time.
Well, anime to me was meant for children. Most of it. There's some that wasn't, like Vampire Hunter D and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, there's a lot of very graphic in many meanings of the word anime out there.
Hmm. But I'm talking about like the mainstream anime that people push all the time
But
now.
experts and industry insiders remain skeptical. Making a quality anime film is not as simple as pressing a button, and audience may not be eager to watch recycled live action movies in a new style. Well, that's the thing. Generations of young people in particular forget quicker and quicker. In our time, we knew things decades before us. Now, in this current age, it's like if it didn't exist after the year 2000, it never existed at all. So it will be fresh to them. They would never touch it until they seen it in anime form.
Yeah, that's
Still,
very
AI is rapidly becoming a useful tool in filmmaking, but it still requires a significant human input and talent to create something audiences will actually want to watch, let alone find meaningful. Okay, you can just see where this is going, and yes, a lot of young people will go for it, but simply because it's anime and it's new. People tend to take whatever is put out there.
Yeah.
You know, people's like, no, I chose this product. Yes, you chose it because it was widely available and advertised that, you know, it's the latest, greatest thing, or it makes you look cool, or all your friends have it, or it came by default on your phone, or your phone was advertised by your phone provider. You know, it's what's being pushed out there. And most people just gobble, gobble, gobble without a second thought. And this will be
Yeah.
no different. Many of them will not even have heard of the original film. They will just take it because it's a new anime.
Very true. I mean, they don't. Something like this will come out, and
Just
very
bastardize
few.
everything. Why not? Well,
Hmm.
they're doing it for the money. I mean, it's all for the profit.
Yeah, but things like this will come out, and very few people will research to find the original. That's the problem.
Can you imagine the type into the AI, except make this character black? Oh, this man, make it a woman. And you know, AI will be able to do voices as well on some basic script changing, I would imagine. I imagine if it's not already at that point, it will get to that point and they can truly modernize it.
Yeah,
And the people watching it will not know any better because they will not be familiar with the original. And they're like, that's not how that goes. And it's like, oh, I'm talking about the original. Like, there was an original.
yeah,
We already get a lot of that today in music. And it's, you know, oh, I like this song. It's like, yeah, I like that one too. And then you find out that is not the song. They put it through a machine and fucked it to death and then spit it back out. And that's the one they like.
yeah. It's all
And
beeps and clicks.
and you tell them, it's more like moans, but anyway, and mumbling. But you tell them that's a remake. And they're like, I could see this being the same thing.
Yeah, yeah. Frag Monkey's right. They can't create artistically bankrupt. He's right. They're
I do wonder why our generation and the one before us made so many great things, and the generations since don't seem to be able to. I mean, yeah, there's some, no doubt. Yeah, they've made some great things. But in general, why can't they make good things anymore? What happened?
I don't know. Well, unless it's the influx of information and entertainment being at their fingertips. Their minds don't have to work
Well,
as hard
that
anymore.
actually what it brings my mind to is we had radio and we had TV. We could change the channel and we could change the station, but it gave us a steady line of stuff. And if one thing stood out in particular, like musically, let's say, we'd go out and get the record, 8-track, cassette tape, you know, whatever it may be. And then we would start buying into that music. But still, the thing is we got influences from a broad range. We might watch a movie made for middle-aged housewives and go, oh, fuck that. That was meaningful. I felt that. I kind of like that. You know, or a woman, it could be a middle-aged housewife, watch a fucking Rambo movie and go, hey, that was good. But now everybody's like, I choose this. I choose that. You know, they don't have this feed of broad sources coming into them anymore. So maybe that is what is stripping away their artistic ability, their imagination, because they don't have this broad range of influences.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. And also the companies that created movies and music and all this kind of stuff, the artists, when they would create a movie, that was the shit. I mean, people would go and see it over and over and over again back then.
Yeah, because they didn't have things at their fingertips, and they were that much into it. They
Hmm.
wanted to take up every ounce of it, every bit of it.
I remember a
Not
lot
only
of
that,
times.
it would inspire people. I mean, when I was younger, I remember the first round of Dragon Ball Z that came to America. I was a teenager into martial arts and all, there's a whole group of people that was in the martial arts. We didn't watch that and go, let's go to Comic-Con and wear the costumes. We watched that and went, we need to get ripped. We need to become masters in Kung Fu. That's what we did. And you don't see that anymore.
I remember a Comic-Con that you and me went to one time. And I cannot count how many fat Deadpools there were. I mean, these people.
It's like, hey, are you dead and bloated, Pool?
Yeah. I mean, spandex, they need to remember spandex is not a
listen,
privilege. I mean, a right. It's a
I
privilege.
encourage the people out there to go to some extent, some small extent, to live out your fantasy, to have fun. You love this character, go do what you gotta do. But know your limits. Don't be 250 and spandex saying you're Deadpool. Know your limits. Know your range.
Well, I know that same Comic-Con that we went to, and we was just in our regular clothes. People swore we were acting out The Walking Dead. I'm going, no, this is just what we wear all the time.
We went to Comic-Con and this was when the main Walking Dead show was popular. And everybody thought we were cosplaying The Walking Dead. And I'm like,
no.
I may live a little rougher than you because, I go out and do work, like manual labor kind of work, but, we're not cosplaying anything.
No. And I remember it was just funny to see because it was cool during that time when we went, and I had my camouflage army jacket on, and it was like I just threw it on and we went, and it was like, oh, you're cosplaying The Walking Dead. It's like, no, this is our regular clothes.
Unless they were trying to say we look like zombies, but I don't think so. That'd be a stretch.
Yeah, that would be a big stretch. Oh my goodness. People never cease to amaze me.